First Contact's Price. The outer colony of New Horizon was never meant to be a military outpost. Established 20 years ago on a resource-rich planet orbiting Ta City, it was home to scientists, miners, and families seeking a fresh start beyond Earth's crowded systems. Commander Maya Chen had been assigned as head of security, a cushy position that was supposed to involve little more than managing border disputes and the occasional smuggler. That was before the sky turned black with Vexari warships. Status report, Chen barked, ducking as another explosion rocked the command bunker. Dust rained from the ceiling, coating her dark uniform, and the holographic display showing the colony's rapid disintegration. Lieutenant Sato wiped blood from his forehead. Not good, Commander. We've lost contact with the northern quadrant. The mining facility is overrun. Civilian casualties. He hesitated, estimated at 30% and climbing. Chen's jaw tightened. They'd been fighting for 3 days with no reinforcements. The distress signal had been sent the moment the Vexari ships appeared in orbit, but New Horizon was 30 light-years from the nearest military installation. Even if Earth scrambled its fastest ships, help wouldn't arrive for days. And they had hours, at best. What about the research facility? Chen asked, already fearing the answer. Still holding, but the Vexari are concentrating their forces there. They'll breach within the hour. Chen nodded grimly. The Vexari's attack pattern had seemed random at first, until she realized they were systematically targeting research facilities. Dr. Eleanor Wei's breakthrough in synthetic bioengineering was supposed to revolutionize human medicine. Now it seemed it had attracted unwanted attention. I need to speak with Dr. Wei immediately, Chen ordered, strapping her pulse rifle across her back. Outside the bunker, New Horizon burned. The colony's once pristine streets were cratered and littered with debris. Vexari dropships continued to descend through the atmosphere, disgorging waves of their insectoid soldiers. Standing over 2 meters tall with iridescent exoskeletons and 4 powerful arms, they moved with unnatural speed and precision. Chen ducked between buildings, avoiding Vexari patrols as she made her way to the research complex. The facility's defensive perimeter was barely holding. A handful of colonial militia with outdated weapons fighting against overwhelming odds. Commander, Dr. Wei's voice crackled over Chen's comm unit. You need to see this. We've captured one. Inside the facility's secure lab, Dr. Wei stood before a containment field housing an injured Vexari warrior. The alien's compound eyes tracked their movements, mandibles clicking in what Chen interpreted as frustration or pain. It tried to access our primary database, Wei explained, her voice tight with stress and lack of sleep. The translation matrix is incomplete, but it seems the Vexari aren't just attacking us. They're hunting for my research. Your synthetic biocompound. Chen frowned. Why would an advanced species need human medical technology? Wei shook her head. It's not the medical applications they're after. The compound has unexpected properties when exposed to certain energy frequencies, properties that could be weaponized. The Vexari warrior clicked and hissed as the translation matrix attempted to interpret. The essence will serve the hive. Your worlds will nourish our expansion. Chen stepped closer to the containment field. You're killing thousands for a biological compound. Your species is irrelevant. The essence is everything. The Archminds have decreed your planets suitable for harvest. A chill ran down Chen's spine. Harvest? How many colonies have you attacked? The alien's mandibles spread in what could only be interpreted as satisfaction. 7 outposts already cleansed. Your Earth will never mobilize in time. The hive consumes all. Chen turned to Wei, lowering her voice. How far have they pushed into human space? Based on our last communications, they've hit New Horizon, Arcturus Station, and 5 other outer colonies, all simultaneously. It's a coordinated attack across a 70 light-year front. The implications were staggering. The Vexari hadn't just stumbled upon human territory. They'd studied it, identified key targets, and struck where Earth's defenses were weakest. and they believed Earth would be too slow to respond. "We need to get your research and all the data we have on the Vexari attacks back to Earth," Chen said, "if they don't know what they're facing." An explosion rocked the building, sending equipment crashing to the floor. The containment field flickered momentarily, and the Vexari warrior lunged forward before the energy barrier stabilized. "They've breached the outer perimeter," Lieutenant Seto reported over the comm. "2 minutes until they reach your position." Chen made her decision. "Dr. Wei, gather everything on your research and the Vexari. We have one ship left in the auxiliary hangar, a research vessel with a quantum transmitter. It won't outrun their warships," Wei protested. "It doesn't need to." Chen checked her weapon. "It just needs to broadcast everything we know back to Earth before they destroy it." Wei understood immediately. A suicide mission. A chance to give Earth a fighting chance. As they rushed through the facility's emergency tunnels toward the hangar, Wei transferred all her research data to a secure drive. "The quantum transmitter has a direct link to Earth Command. If we can maintain the signal for just 90 seconds, they'll receive everything." The auxiliary hangar was chaos. The last evacuees cramming into shuttles as Vexari weapons fire peppered the exterior blast doors. Chen commandeered the research vessel, a sleek craft designed for atmospheric sampling rather than combat. "Get everyone else on the evacuation shuttles," she ordered Sato. "Scatter in different directions. Some might make it to the emergency bunkers in the mountains." "What about you, Commander?" Chen's expression was resolute. "I'm taking Dr. Wei and her research on a different path." The blast doors began to glow red as Vexari cutting tools worked through the reinforced metal. They had minutes at most. As the civilian shuttles launched, disappearing into the smoke-filled sky, Chen powered up the research vessel. Dr. Wei worked frantically at the communication console, preparing the quantum transmitter. "Even if we get this data to Earth, will it matter?" Wei asked quietly. "The Vexari already have a massive head start." Chen's hands flew over the controls. "You don't know Earth like I do, Doctor. We look disorganized, bureaucratic, slow to respond, but that's because we want our enemies to think that way. Trust me, Earth has teeth, sharp ones." The hangar doors blew inward in a shower of molten metal. Vexari warriors poured through the breach, firing indiscriminately. Chen launched the vessel straight at them, forcing the aliens to scatter as she punched through the opening and into the burning sky. Behind them, New Horizon was in its death throes, Vexari ships methodically reducing the once thriving colony to rubble. 3 Vexari interceptors on our tail," Wei reported, her voice remarkably steady for a scientist thrust into combat. "Expected. Initiating transmission now." The quantum transmitter hummed to life, establishing the direct link to Earth Command millions of kilometers away. The data began flowing. Dr. Wei's research, everything they'd learned about Vexari biology, weaponry, tactics, and most crucially, the coordinates of all known Vexari fleet movements. 30 seconds to complete transmission, Wei announced as the ship shuddered under enemy fire. Chen pushed the engines beyond safety limits, executing a series of evasive maneuvers that sent them skimming over New Horizon's northern mountain range. The interceptors followed relentlessly. 60 seconds. A direct hit to stabilize their port engine. Warning lights flooded the cockpit. 90 seconds. Transmission complete, Wei exclaimed. Chen allowed herself a brief smile. Now Earth knows, and the Vexari have made a terrible miscalculation. As their crippled ship spun toward the planet's surface with Vexari interceptors closing in, Chen thought of home, of Earth and its long history of appearing vulnerable only to reveal unexpected strength when threatened. "What miscalculation?" Wei asked, bracing for impact. "They think no one's coming," Chen replied calmly. "They have no idea what they've awakened." The ship crashed into the mountainside in a fireball visible for kilometers. The Vexari reported the vessel destroyed, its occupants eliminated. The hive would continue its harvest, confident that Earth remained ignorant of the true threat. They were wrong. The quantum transmission had reached its destination. Earth now knew. And Earth was coming. Operation Thunderstrike. Admiral Jackson Wade stood before the massive viewscreen in Earth's orbital command center, watching as the classified footage from New Horizon played for the 5th time. Commander Chen's final transmission had arrived 3 days ago, and in that time, Earth had undergone a transformation that would have seemed impossible to outside observers. Status of the Guardian Fleet? Wade asked, his weathered face revealing nothing of the rage he felt watching human colonies burn. General Isabel Kwan, head of Earth's Special Operations Command, stepped forward. Fully mobilized, Admiral. All 7 battle groups are assembled and awaiting your order. And the Vexari still have no indication we're coming. None, sir. Our deep space monitoring stations confirm they believe their attacks have gone undetected by Earth's Central Command. They're continuing systematic operations against our outer colonies. Wade nodded slowly. The Vexari had made a fundamental error in their assessment of humanity. They'd studied Earth's official defense protocols, noted the bureaucratic delays, the public debates about military spending, the apparent disorganization of humanity's expansion into the stars. What they hadn't known, what no potential enemy knew, was that it was all carefully crafted misdirection. Behind the facade of a plotting democratic process lay Project Guardian, Earth's best-kept secret. For decades, Earth had been building and hiding a fleet unlike anything seen in human history. Ships constructed in shielded facilities beneath the moons of Jupiter and Saturn. Weapons developed in classified research stations. Crews trained in secret facilities beneath Earth's oceans. Dr. Wei's research has given us the advantage we need, said Dr. Victor Okafor, Earth's lead xenobiologist. The Vexari exoskeleton contains trace elements that make them uniquely vulnerable to specific electromagnetic frequencies. We've modified our weapons accordingly. Wade turned to face the assembled military leadership. The Vexari struck because they believed we were defenseless, that our response would be slow, disorganized, and ultimately futile. They expect reinforcements from Earth to arrive piecemeal, over weeks or months. His voice hardened. We will arrive together, we will arrive now, and we will show them the full measure of humanity's resolve. The Guardian Fleet was humanity's ultimate insurance policy. 7 battle groups hidden throughout the solar system, each centering around a massive dreadnought supported by carriers, destroyers, and specialized strike craft. Ships built with technology that official records claimed was still theoretical. Aboard the EDS Reckoning, the flagship of Battle Group Alpha, Captain Amara Osei completed her final inspection. The massive vessel, 3 kilometers of advanced alloys, energy weapons, and computational systems, hummed with controlled power as her crew of 5,000 made final preparations. Navigation, Osei called. Final coordinates locked for jump point. Aye, Captain. Jump calculations complete for all vessels. Battle Group Alpha ready for synchronized transition. Osei allowed herself a small smile. The Vexari had taken Commander Chen and countless other brave souls. Now they would learn the cost of that mistake. Throughout the solar system, the other battle groups reported similar readiness, from hidden bases on Europa, Titan, and Mars Trojan asteroids. Humanity's secret fleet emerged, assembling at designated jump points. Admiral Wade's voice echoed through every ship. Guardian Fleet, this is Wade. You all know our mission. The Vexari believe us weak, divided, and slow to respond. They've murdered our people and destroyed our colonies, believing there would be no significant consequences. Operation Thunderstrike will correct that misconception. We will hit them simultaneously at 7 points, targeting their command ships and supply lines. Jump on my mark. The Guardian Fleet disappeared into jump space in perfect synchronization, a maneuver that the Vexari intelligence had deemed beyond human capability. In the Tav Ceti system, where the ruins of New Horizon still smoldered, the Vexari harvesting operation was proceeding on schedule. Their ships methodically extracted valuable resources, while specialized units collected samples of Dr. Way's biocompound from the research facility wreckage. Vexari Overseer Krall Thek supervised from the command deck of the hive ship Eternal Dominion. The operation was 78% complete, and no human resistance remained. Their intelligence predicted that Earth's response vessels wouldn't arrive for at least another solar cycle, disorganized, under-equipped, and easily dispatched. Overseer, the sensor officer clicked urgently, multiple spatial distortions forming. Before Krell Thek could respond, reality tore open around his fleet. Not one or two human vessels as expected, but hundreds materialized simultaneously. Massive warships surrounding the Vexari fleet in a three-dimensional encirclement. Impossible, Krall Thek hissed. Human technology can it. His words died as the first salvo from the human fleet struck. Precisely targeted electromagnetic pulses, modulated to the exact frequency Dr. Way's research had identified, tore through Vexari ships. Their shields, designed to stop kinetic and energy weapons, offered no protection against this specialized attack. Aboard the Reckoning, Captain Osai watched dispassionately as Vexari vessels began to drift, their systems failing. "Target their command ship," she ordered. "Prepare boarding teams." Similar scenes play out across 6 other systems where Vexari forces had established footholds. The Guardian fleet struck with overwhelming force and technological precision that left the invaders reeling. Admiral Wade, coordinating from the EDS Vindicator, received status reports from all battle groups. "Begin Phase 2, he ordered. "Secure Dr. Way's compound and any survivors." On the surface of what had been New Horizon, Marine dropships deployed with surgical precision. Among the ruins of the research facility, they found what sensors had detected but scarcely believed: survivors, led by none other than Commander Chen herself. Bloodied but alive, Chen had escaped her vessel before impact, taking Dr. Wei with her. They'd spent days evading Vexari patrols in the mountains, gathering other survivors, waiting for the response they knew would come. "Took you long enough, Admiral," Chen said over the comm as Wade's image appeared. Wade's stoic expression broke into a rare smile. "Had to wait for the right moment, Commander. Your intelligence was impeccable." In orbit, the battle, if it could be called that, was ending. The Vexari ships, paralyzed by specialized EMP weapons tailored to their technology, were being systematically boarded and captured. On the Eternal Dominion, Overseer Krall Thek found himself face to face with Captain Osi and a squad of Earth Marines. "How?" the Vexari demanded, mandibles clicking in agitation. "Human response protocols require weeks to mobilize. Your technology is insufficient for coordinated jumps." Osi's smile was cold. "You studied what we wanted you to see, Overseer. Humanity learned long ago that appearing vulnerable while concealing strength is the surest path to security." Back on the Vindicator, Admiral Wade was receiving the most surprising development of the operation. Dr. Okafor had made a discovery while analyzing the captured Vexari data. "Admiral, the Vexari aren't acting independently," Okafor explained. "They're being manipulated. The biocompound they're harvesting, it's not for weapons. Their entire species is suffering from a cellular degradation syndrome. They believe the compound is their only hope for survival." Wade frowned. "Are you saying they attacked us out of desperation, not aggression?" "Yes and no. Their leadership, these Archmins, told them our compound was the only cure, but our analysis shows the Archminds have been lying. The Vexari are being used as pawns by a separate species." The revelation changed everything. Within hours, Wade had established communication with the captured Vexari command structure, presenting Okafor's findings. The evidence was irrefutable. The Archminds were not Vexari at all, but members of another species who had been manipulating them for generations. "We can help you," Wade told Kralvek. "Dr. Way's research can be adapted to address your species' degradation without destroying our colonies." The Vexeri overseer's compound eyes reflected the data displays showing the truth about the Archmind's deception. Why would humans offer aid after what we have done? Because that's the difference between us and your Archminds, Wade replied. We understand that survival doesn't have to come at the expense of others. 1 month later, Earth's Orbital Command Center hosted an unprecedented gathering. Representative delegations from both humanity and the Vexeri met to formalize what was being called the Mutual Preservation Accord. Commander Chen, now promoted to captain, stood beside Dr. Wei as Admiral Wade, and Overseer Kral Thek signed the document. From enemies to allies in a month, Wei marveled quietly. Did you expect this outcome when you crashed that ship? Chen shook her head. I only wanted Earth to have a fighting chance. But this is better, proving we're stronger together than apart. As the ceremony concluded, news arrived from the joint Earth-Vexeri expedition, tracking the Archminds back to their home system. The manipulators would soon face justice from both species they had attempted to use against each other. They thought Earth was defenseless, Chen remarked, watching the stars through the command center's vast observation window. They never imagined we'd not only defend ourselves but find a way to turn enemies into allies. Wade nodded slowly. That's humanity's greatest strength, not our hidden fleets or secret weapons, but our capacity to find better solutions than endless conflict. Above them, visible even from Earth, the first joint human-Vexeri research vessel prepared to depart, its mission to find other species potentially being manipulated by the Archminds. Where the Vexeri had once brought destruction, the combined fleet now carried hope. They had come expecting to find Earth defenseless. Instead, they discovered humanity's most powerful weapon wasn't its fleet, but its ability to turn the tide of war toward peace.